Hey Sam,
Hey, what's up, Mikito? How are you, man?
it is going. It's going good.
Good
Uh,
morning.
yeah, good evening. I
Thanks for the
s-
game.
yeah, thank you for the game. Um, Raven actually agreed to review the game for us, so we're gonna get a review from a 7 down.
Hey, not too bad. Cool.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on him. But how'd you feel about the game?
I felt like I was pretty happy with how I played the first like 120 moves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kept it within like a 10-point difference. Um, I mean, I knew you'd outplay me in the opening just because you just know the openings a bit better, which is fine. Um, yeah, I really thought I was building something nice, and I realized your left side was growing pretty big, and I got nervous. And then we got into this crazy fight up top, and you just kind of killed everything.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was brutal.
in the beginning, yeah, I felt like I wasn't too far ahead, and you were definitely within 10 points for a while. So yeah, so there's something I'm sure we can both learn thanks to Chris. Hey, Chris,
Dude.
what's happening, Captain? It's been a long time, almost like a month.
Yeah, no, I haven't like played a game of Go in like a month.
Wow.
My first game back on Fox, my opponent like self Ataris or something.
Well, that's all right. Brings you back to the wackiness of Go.
Mhm. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what we've got here.
Nikita, were you going to record this session or
Yeah, it's
and
being recorded on Twitch right now, and then I'll put it on YouTube too.
oh, okay, I'll hold off on recording on my end then. That's fine.
I know you run your own YouTube, so I mean, if you want to do your own recording, I'm not against it. I'm sure Chris is
I mean,
fine with it.
I need to figure out some way to get computer audio to sound better because I've tried to film with other people, but their audio quality is unusable at the
Ah,
moment with my setup.
You just tell them to get good microphones and record like their own their own audio like clips, and then you just like edit their own audio in.
But it's no big deal.
How is it for you guys? Can you hear me okay? Do I sound clear?
Yeah.
Crystal.
Just want to make sure that it's being picked up from the Yeti and not the webcam, because apparently the webcam has a microphone too. I found out.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. Where my audio sounded like garbage for some of my videos. But no, you sound crystal. A little tired, but crystal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bye,
All
honey.
right. So
Bye bye.
looks like Sam going in with the old school territorial setup. That page 4 of Dictionary of Modern Fuseki Korean Style.
Mhm.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Alrighty. So it's playable. Nothing wrong with it. Oh, I'd ignored. This is modern style to play away. That's fine. Black backs off. Also possible here is to play pincer at A. And the pincer at A is kind of like inviting him to take the corner, like inviting your opponent to take corner. And then when they take the corner, you sort of can block and switch like this. And basically what you say is like you can play A, you can play D. So the bottom is not super interesting in this type of variation. Even black can push a couple more times and then maybe enclose or approach. It's just another way that black can play this position.
Mm.
This one is all right also. White is playing very principally, just attach in the corner. This is supposed to be in most cases like the more efficient way to do what B is trying to do. It's
Mm.
more likely to be Sente than a move like B, because you noticed when you played this one, Sam, he didn't play the Joseki, right?
Yeah, and so I
Nowadays, even Even the half pattern is a pattern. And so black is always going to be looking for, okay, do I ever want to get to like the 8 point, right? But when you have it like this, the attachment kind of demands a response. If you compare the two shapes in the corners, which one is better?
Yeah, white's is definitely better. It's a lot more solid.
Right. And without any like extra shape weakness or anything, it's putting more direct pressure on two stones. So you can see that like A is more likely to be sente. And so for that reason, usually more modern style is to play the attachment here. But that's all right. That's all fine and dandy. I expect Hane Atari and then I expect connect. Oh, there was not a connect here. Interesting. Talk to me about this one, Mikito. I don't think I've ever seen this one before.
I didn't even notice I didn't connect. I was eating breakfast while we were playing. I think I just made a mistake.
He's in the deep thing.
Yeah. Sam, did you not take? You didn't take. It went to the regular. Oh,
well,
guys.
I hear him through the stream, but I don't hear him through the Zoom.
Yeah, I muted the Zoom. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I was totally eating breakfast during this match. So my bad, SpiritAnimal. I'm surprised you didn't take because I think it goes back to the regular thing.
Did I not take?
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't capture. You connected
first. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should definitely just snap take this.
Yeah.
Because even if you connect and like white defends, like it's okay for black. But reverting to Joseki is also fine.
That's so funny.
But this connection's a little bit strange. You can just extend or you can push. No need to play this one. Because when you play this one, the stone at A is a little weird. Like now we could think, okay, maybe if this stone is like here or like here, ignoring the everything to the left side of what I'm marking as like these triangles. Ignoring to the left, like if you imagine a shape like this, it would be a little bit better of an extension with your wall. But in this position, it's just a little too close. And so to avoid the over concentration, you can stretch down to the corner or you can push up to the side. If you push, we expect white is going to extend to A in most cases, but it is not mandatory. White can take sente, for example, play away. If black seals white in, white will be alive.
Yeah, I think I wanted to keep everything solid and not blunder 20 moves in. And I've never seen that opening before, so I knew it was over concentrated, but I wanted to have a game. So
then another thing you can do is just complete development.
Yeah, it's fair. It's just one stone. Even if I lose that, it's just one stone.
Yeah. Like in most cases in this Joseki, you're giving up the A stone anyway. Like it's usually going to turn into a shape like this, and so you can get a more efficient position on the bottom side if you don't commit to saving it. Like this is the type of connection you would connect and keep to the corner here if like you have a severe follow-up. So you're basically saying, okay, either my Hane at B or my pincer at C are enough to kill you type of deal. But if they're not really severe attacks, the connection is kind of not great. Okay, so I jumped and just fixed the shape. White could have taken sente here. Well, I didn't have to answer. And okay, you approach. That's fine. White kicks. Interesting choice to kick. And then play high.
So I guess I do have a question here, because this happens all the time, right? Where the first move I'll play C6, and then they'll approach again on the other side, and I don't want to play another like C14, right? Is that how I should feel? Because a lot of
not necessarily. It's okay to back off again.
It just
means that this side is not going to be so interesting.
Yeah, it looks everything's low, right? You never want all your stones to be low.
Well, only if you care about developing the side, right? But like you could go for a position like this and then just take sente and take the other corner.
Okay.
Right,
So
like you don't have to. You could play very territorial and do this. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's I can understand wanting like a more dynamic shape. This is a more common idea, also.
that's what I would use most
Uh,
often, but most people peep at me, and then I'm, so I
yeah,
wanted to try something different.
the benefit of this kick exchange is that white doesn't really have anything within this box that's interacting with the top side. So the kick exchange, when you don't have something to help with the interaction here, usually feels a little bit strange for white. It's yeah, it's because you're kind of giving him free strength against the top, which could be useful with the left. And then like you imagine, okay, he played the super AI one, but if he just does something like standard, right? Like let's just say he backs off here.
Yeah, about that move, that E15 peep. Someone told me you can just do that as a throw-in move and then just go back to the normal two-space extension, and it's pretty much the same thing, but you're a bit
Yeah,
safer.
sometimes, but you usually see this peep with like you see it before this exchange gets made. So like you can do it and try to go for like this. And maybe you back off or like you go here or something. Or in some cases you'll do this one. Or you'll see it if I just adjust the corner a little bit. You'll see it a lot in situations like this when it's shifted one more to the left and then you back off either like this or something like this, because it makes it harder to attack the two stones. But the thing is they're not easy to attack for white right now anyway. So you don't really need this exchange. If white just defends, for example, then you sort of lose the ability to invade at A. And so there's actually a loss here in the position. Like you can just enclose, and this would be a little bit more normal. Or if you're afraid of the fight, then you can just go here. Yeah, so okay, so white is a little happy with this exchange. Approaching. Okay, that's fine. Nothing wrong with approaching. White could prioritize playing on the bottom now also. Mikito, like you could go to A, you could also go back to B. Anything like that, you could still invade the sun, sonnet C. These are all also playable ideas here for white.
Is there a normal pattern for A? I don't know it that well.
Yeah, like if black Hane is above, you extend, and then it depends on how black answers. Black can connect, and then white's got the Hane to look forward to or the turn. Black can push, then white can Hane, and then jump, and then settle. And then here, and white can either come out or do what white's gonna do. Right. Do something like this. And then if black plays this one, usually white's gonna be looking for A, B, or C, the position. One of the three.
B just seems like suicide. That's crazy.
Well, the idea is that if black captures, then white can either Atari above or Atari from the side. And if black takes, then white got two free stones on the outside.
Yeah, I guess if you can make those stones work, it's a good invasion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's enough just having two stones here for white a lot of the time. Like even if, like, let's say white connected back and black decided to cut and kill one stone, like even though white is losing the stone at 5, it's still good value for white because in the future white can play moves like this, or this move at 11 could be big, aiming for the attachment at A. Moves like this can make use of the stone at 5. So white can get a lot of extra real estate out of it. And if black is like not capturing the stone, then it, white's going to get even more. Like, because basically white's threat is saying, okay, if you don't do anything, I'm just going to kill the corner, right? So
okay,
that's more or less the idea there. But okay, so he shrunk it, and now black is deciding to hell with territory, all of the center. If
Pretty
you want to
much.
play safe and not blunder, i.e., your idea with Q3, this is probably the furthest thing from that idea that you could have played. This move is like the antithesis move of that type of strategy. Influence is notoriously difficult for players to use, especially players that are like when there's such a wide disparity in skill, you know? Because the problem with influence is it's all about the long term. And you're not really like your skill level, you're not really strong enough to go long against somebody that's significantly better than you, right? Like you'll win games against people at your level, and that's fine. You know, influence is great against them. They don't know how to handle it. But somebody who's got, you know, any semblance of Sabaki skill or reduction, timing, or anything like that, they're going to recognize what you're doing because you're doing it so directly. And it's going to be easier for him to handle. So if you want to like build the top side, I would recommend do it tight, something like this, where you can still at least keep some territory while doing it and like trade, or just like back off and be solid here.
Yeah, I was kind of worried he'd like jump out with that R14 stone himself to like P14 and kind of build that right side and shut me out from going to the center. And I just felt really
try
situation
but
in
you
that
have
one.
A.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, this is that light reduction technique, right? So like you play this and then jump, and then how much of the right side does white actually get? Right.
True.
Here's a good lesson. Like let's say even it goes like this, where he turns and gets to take the right side. How much more is he getting than he would have already got?
Yeah, no, it's definitely pushed him down a lot. Plus, now I have
Right.
some influence towards the center with that.
Yeah, and you can see like even black has other moves to like make it even smaller. Like it's really not a lot of territory here. Like 10 points. So
Gotta remember
you
that.
don't have to be afraid of two when all of his stones are low. It's hard for him to elevate and build the right side. So you can just be solid. Like your position here is more efficient than white's position here. And so this is already better for black.
You guys don't mind if your face is on stream, do you?
I don't mind.
Okay, I'm sure it'll
That's
be a
fine.
little more entertaining.
One second. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, and so now your A stone again is in a bit of a weird spot, Sam. Like you'd prefer it to be here if you want to elevate. This is like the natural shape because this is not a knight's move that is very easy for white to cut. Let me just play away. You can see white is dead in a net. So if there's no direct like cutting weakness, then having the faster stone is usually better than having the tighter stone. And A, you don't really have a lot of follow-ups in here anymore either to make use of your Kusumi. Basically, all of its work is going to be concentrated into this. And now you sort of owe a move around B to complete the framework. Because if you don't play B, where do you think white's going to be able to go?
Yeah, I mean, he probably wants to play around B as well. I was actually worried about his turn at E14 for a while as well, but I never found the timing to stop him there.
This would be a good one.
Yeah.
Elevation. But the key is your low stone is the backwards piece here, right? So you have to spend a move, like you owe a move because the stone is low, and you need this on the you need to remove his free presses against this. This is a bad exchange. Bad exchange. The bad exchange for a couple of reasons. When you play 1 for 2, what happens to white's position?
Yeah, it definitely solidifies. Right here, I thought I was being cheeky because I was like, okay, I'm going to play 1 to induce him to fill, and then I'll jump over to R13 and maybe I can like split off the groups and kill. But
Yeah,
and
no,
then
this is a technique you can use to reduce.
but I didn't know what to do with the R13 stone when he played that.
No, so
That was
this is the testagy that you set up for.
yeah, I wanted
So
something
after
like
you do R13, then you cut here and you attach F3. And the plan with this is simple. If white Hane is above like this, then you extend. And you'll have the threat of pulling back the stone at A and connecting. And if he stops it, then you're free to move. And you've reduced the side again, right? Like in this type of case, you can see white's territories become very small.
so it's not really like a I was going into it with the mentality of like a take something and split his groups, but that could be
Yeah.
tested more for just like reduction purposes, more so than
Right.
like
The next reason that this is not a great exchange for you is because you lose a liberty in the exchange.
yeah. Mhm.
And while it might not seem important now, if white is able to start some type of fight here, let's just give white some strong stones really fast. Losing a liberty and like going into some liberty racing situation or some fight on the top side, like this type of exchange long term can burn you. I can't tell you how many games I've had where I've made a bad exchange like this to set up some Aji. And then like the R13 Aji, that's just ultimately only important for one thing, reduction, right? And my opponent finds this cheeky like invasion and then it becomes a fight. And then all of a sudden I'm dead because I took away my own liberties with these exchanges.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So just in general, Atari is not a great exchange. And if you play it, there needs to be a specific reason. And you should be able to clearly read out what it is. And if you can't, I would, unless you have a very strong feeling that you think your opponent's going to take that point next, don't do it. Like here, if I asked you, do you think white's going to connect at 1? The answer is no. White's not. There's no reason for white to play that move.
True. Yeah.
There's no threat. So for you to spend a whole cente to take it, it's just not really big. And ultimately, I would say like it's big for white to connect in terms of points in the corner, but this move is also not exactly cente either. If there was something else urgent on the board, a move like this could very well end up being gote. So just be careful.
Makes sense.
Okay. All right. So you came back to this. That's fine. Sure. Now, key point to note, once white is defended with A, the invasion at B is turned on. So you want to keep an eye on that. If you want to be solid, you can just jump. And this is a good move in general because this move is also aiming to peek into his left side. Like let's say white ignores, right? Do you see?
Yeah.
Right.
I was
If
looking
white
at
goes,
that move for a while, and I think actually Mikito got that one before I did. Yeah, F5 move, and
well, for
yeah,
white, it's usually this is the one that white is looking for.
I guess
Because the
black.
idea is that if white comes out now, then black comes out now, then white can either slide under with this one or white can jump like this.
Yeah.
Many ways white can fight, but white is looking to invade rather than to cover from the center. Sometimes white will, like sometimes white will make this exchange if like let's say white's made a couple of exchanges on the top already and white can do something super big here on the left. Maybe white might do it.
Sure.
But
Makes
usually white's like locally white's gonna aim for this one.
I thought
This one is
just to say, I thought on H3, if we did that jumping battle, I thought he would like ruin my left side, and I wasn't like ruining enough for him. But that's probably. So I
mean
ended
only
up
the whole
choosing,
bottom, but yeah.
Yeah, I ended up choosing F5 instead.
It's a matter of preference.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sam, you were inviting a fight. Right? This could be okay. As long as you can handle it, this could be okay.
Yep.
But he chickened out. Now this exchange, A for B. Good exchange for black or bad exchange for black?
I think it can be good if I can hold on to the middle because it presses my territory up towards the center.
Okay.
So if I can kind of develop that, and white only really solidifies like 6 points with that B move. So
Mhm.
it can be good
And
for
Mikito, what do you think? Good exchange or bad exchange for black?
Well, I thought black had two weaknesses, so I was happy with just getting solid. So chickening out, as you said.
Yeah, A for B is kind of submissive. But the exchange itself is not terrible for black. Because in most cases, usually even white blocking here is going to be better than connecting. Connecting is only really better if like this is ever a problem. But the Peep 2 is never going to be anything. So connecting is kind of soft. Once you have that exchange on the board, go crazy. Like you don't have to answer anymore, Sam. Like you're already getting value from A and B. And then in the future, you can do the CDE combination. Like, let me just show that real quick. Something like this. And then you still have like this move. And then like, let's say he captures the one stone, right? Like this. He's still not getting a lot out of it, right? Like if he captures, you've got this to resurrect 2 stones inside. If he descends, you can capture the outside like this. And notice that you never actually have to support the A stone.
I think I ended up supporting it in the game, but I probably didn't have to. Yeah.
No, I was just showing you don't have to. So, like, there is a cut left over, but the A stone itself is a forcing move. It's not a Kikashi. It's a Kikashi. It's not a committing stone. So it's okay for the A stone to get cut, especially since white is thick. Because the thing is white, you forced white to answer in a very passive way. And you still have a clear line of sight to the vital point at E. So this push from behind here, painful, because now you're committing to the forcing move. You're turning this into something more than what it was originally meant to be. Right?
Yeah, my game plan at this point was just take the center. Like maybe I can get like a K8 move in or something, and just make the framework complete. So
it's like imagine in chess, you check the king, right? And the king has to like is forced to move in a very suboptimal place, right? But then you make another check, and now the king is in a great position and is like immortal from all attacks, and just like white's like your opponent's position just improves dramatically. And it's kind of the equivalent of following up Q7 with Q8. Because first of all, what's your follow-up?
Yeah, like I said, like maybe like a K8 type move or
Well, I meant locally. What's the follow-up?
It'd be like 09 or something.
Yeah, not great, right? You don't have a direct follow-up against white. Because white is too strong. So you're effectively attaching to his thickness. Mikito played the Hane. This is big move. He didn't have to play this, but he did. Do you need that move?
I just didn't want him to get on top of me, so I
No, I meant your opponent.
I was thinking about the double Hane, but I didn't think it worked out too well.
It still doesn't seem like he's got the easiest time in the world here against you. Both corners are alive in this fight, Mikito.
Yeah,
so there's some territory value to extending, but I don't think extending is necessarily the biggest move. I don't think you have to answer this. Like, I think you can just leave. Maybe come here, do like H3 now, or maybe go back and finally deal with the top side before you answer. And this is just Sam, so you know, it's because the severity of the Hane was not so big. Yeah, and this Hane is completely gote. Mikito, don't do this.
Okay. Yeah.
These are not. This is not the topic of the game right now. You're both getting distracted. So here you need to start getting in. Either break this or like break this. Break one of the two. Handle the problem. Don't help the problem grow. Because like, let's say black just jumps. What did this exchange do to better your position?
Well, I thought it helped me break out a little more into the center instead of just getting fully squeezed in. But I can see any of the other moves that we talked about is breaking more of the Maya than what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're playing from where you're strong instead of playing further away from your strength here also.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right? Like if you just consider like, okay, we're both like mutually building this way, what's happening?
Black's getting
White
all
is
the
not getting
benefit.
any,
Yeah.
White's not getting any value in this outside of a reduction, right? You're not making points here. But meanwhile, everything that Black is surrounding this way is like elevating Black's bottom position to the moon. This is starting to look like Dogecoin circa a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Right. So this Hane pretty fundamental boo-boo. Especially if you can just cut. Because like locally, if just cutting works, then you should just cut.
Right.
Rather than giving him a chance to fix it all, right?
Right.
Okay. Sure. This is the standard answer, just so you see it, Sam.
Yeah, I think I played H5 and made an elf and eye actually. And
Yeah, not good, because then he can come in. So now
admittedly,
you're kind of
I kind of induced the weakness hoping he would take it because I figured maybe I could grow on top of him while he went below. And then I could also move into his left side. That was kind of my idea. So like if
not
he
not a
but
not a bad idea, but just a little bit thin.
it didn't work out how I wanted it to.
Yeah. Those things usually don't.
Did not work out.
Yeah, so here he makes these exchanges and then goes to build. And now it's sort of like contest, right? We're move 57. And let's do a quick count and see who has what. Okay, so we've got this here for white. That there for white. That there for white. Okay. I'll probably give that to black. Where are we at?
It takes me a bit to
Seems
count.
pretty close. Hmm.
So I count white 55 before Comey, 61 with Comey, or 60 with Comey. Why white had Comey in this game, I have no idea.
I just figured it would be normal.
And black is currently chilling with a whopping 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 31, 35, 4 by 3s, 12, that's 47, 49, 50. Black's got a whopping 54. So before Comey, the game is close. But after Comey, white is pretty comfortable. So now it's a matter of whose potential is bigger, black's potential on the top center or bottom center versus white's potential on the left side.
It looks accessible to both of us. It probably is easier for white to hold on, but if we both move up the board, like let's say he goes up the F file and I move up the H file, we're both kind of getting what we want, where he'll get his left side and I'll get the middle.
Well, think about it, right? Right now, you've pretty much got what I've marked off. So inside black's bubble, you've got this like potential amount of territories, right? So that's what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 points. And then in this one, Another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So between the two, the top is actually slightly smaller in terms of available points per space than the bottom part of the center moyo, but both of them are smaller than what white stands to get here. Right?
Yeah, so it's a good exchange for white.
Yeah, because
If
you
they
effectively have a 6. You have 36 points in
White's
just
is
this part of the
41.
box. Plus 5 is 41. So really, it's like white's potential is as big as both of yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say the ones you marked off is 41, so it's funny they're even.
Yeah. So in this case, since his 1 is bigger than your 2, you have to deal with his 1 before you can address your 2.
Hmm.
So for black, congratulations, you must invade. No choice. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, pressing, trying to make it small, getting bigger, also a good idea. And now the fight begins. Oh, he didn't fight. He chickened out again. This is good for black, I think, if black extends. Because now the difference is going to be white's going to be capped to 5 like this.
Yeah, and black was looking at 6 or 7. I was looking at that too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then black from like this line, black is planning to get something like this.
Yeah, I think I asked for a bit too much with the Hane there, and I got punished pretty hard for it. So
Well, whenever you're playing the Hane, you always have to read the what?
the cutting points. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, which you have 3 of.
Yeah, I
Or 2
guess
of technically.
maybe it. So I have a question. So would the Hane have worked if he didn't have the F13 stone there?
It would have been easier if he didn't have the F13 stone for sure, because then if he cuts, you can extend.
Right, and it doesn't lead towards his stone. So
Right. In this case, you wouldn't be sealed in. And it would be much harder for him to contain you because you can go this way or this way.
hmm,
Right. But in the game variation, if you tried the same thing,
kind of
it would
gets
be a
bonked
different
on the head.
story.
Yeah.
Well, now it's just sealed, right?
Yeah, which is yeah.
It's swimming in the ocean.
That was the mistake.
Yeah, so here you got to extend and see how he's going to play. If he pushes, you go 1 more. And if he defends again like this, then you can think about this jump. Because if you can get to both, it's big. Right?
Yep.
Because you've got to follow up at A and you've got to follow up around B. But the left side for white doesn't have so much follow-ups to get any bigger than it is already. So white's going to be pretty hard capped there unless something dies.
Oh, my camera ran out of battery. I apologize.
No worries. We don't get Sam's beautiful face. We get my ugly mug instead. Here, this is true. You captured 2 stones.
I felt good
So
about that one.
congratulations. You got
I got 2 stones.
eight. You got 8 points. But this was still bigger than 8 points.
Yeah.
This was still bigger than 8 points. So this is the equivalent of an 8-point gote. This is you're not far enough in endgame for something that small to matter. The only reason you would ever do this now is if this like protected life and death of something.
I was almost hoping he would let me capture like somehow, and maybe I could use the F9 stone.
Seems hard. I mean, you could try to go for the ko, but you're damaging yourself a lot to play a ko like this because this is very thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Whereas at
decision
least
wasn't.
this way it's thick. You know, so very different conversation you can have with these stones. Oh, okay. But in general, it's just too small to take now. White is very happy to get this turn because this turn means that you can't do this. And this is very big for growing like everything. Like if white jumps here to limit the center, then you've got this to continue building the top. If white does something here to build the top, you've got this to build the center. So one is kind of like bridging both of the moyos. So when you cut and white gets the turn, this is actually huge in terms of like white's reduction potential. Give me 1 second. Somehow in a chair that doesn't move on the floor, it got my headphones tangled underneath it. Weird. Yeah. This is fine. Mikito, you can be a little more interesting.
Yeah. You could see I didn't do anything interesting this game. It was all just move into his drum like every time he forced.
Mm-hmm. Like you have strength, so like I just get in the habit of playing farther away from it.
That makes sense.
You know, like you don't have to be super close to his position.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because this move also doesn't have a follow-up.
Right.
Right. Like if black just goes here, you feel kind of silly. Right, because that stone doesn't actually help you like do this better, right?
Right.
And like if this worked, like maybe it's a second escape route for this move, but maybe, right?
So from what I'm taking from this game, I should definitely play more away from strength. That's the second time you said that. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like this, Sam. Good. Oh, not so great.
This was the beginning.
Yeah, no. When you have this position, must cut. You're fighting now if he extends. End of story. More than likely, what's going to happen is he's going to play this, and you're going to connect underneath.
You know, it's obvious seeing it now. I was trying to figure out a way to contain him because I was looking at like G14, the double Hane didn't work, and I was like, man, I guess he figured it out, but yeah, the cutting point was a blind spot for some reason. Yeah, big sad faces. Yeah.
Poor pony.
Yeah, I should have just. You know, actually, I think the reason I didn't was because of the empty triangle, and maybe I just am trying not to ever do that.
Although sometimes it's bad, but yeah, okay. Then you've got this. So it's a co-fight. Okay, you've managed to co. Good, big co-threat. We love to see those. Oh, and you gave those up. Did you count your co-threats here?
Ready for dinner? Okay, I'm coming.
Bailing out on us now.
Nope. Actually, I think my wife just cooked dinner, so I might have to bail.
No worries, you're good, man. I can stop here. It's fine.
Yeah,
I think we covered a lot of good stuff for you guys to go over already.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As for me, I think I'm gonna go take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah, I really think this was kind of the end of the game, anyways, because it kind of came to the point where everything just kind of died. So there isn't much more to say. He broke out and killed the Moyo, and I couldn't hold it down. And yeah, he's a killer. Really strong player.
Yep.
It was awesome. So.
All right, Sam. Well, thanks for the game.
Hey, man, I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can play a more competitive game in the future once I get a bit stronger.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, we can play again. I know our schedules keep conflicting, but if it definitely helps. Even me, right? Chris has plenty of stuff to teach me too from these games.
For sure. So, all right, guys.
Take it easy. Enjoy dinner.
I'll see you around. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, Sam.